Well, yeah. My daughter moved into Shannondale.
Oh, right.
And so we're like, well, you know, I Boy Scouted out here and all that kind of stuff. And then we start going around and we're like, wait a minute, Charlestown, Washington's brother.
Yeah, there's a ton of history out here.
The stone web cabin downtown. Yeah. The stone building. Oh man, that story is incredible.
We just got restoring the first free school in Jefferson County.
Wow. Can I interview you guys about what you're doing, about your community?
We're not together for sure.
Hey, Jody.
How about GC?
No, this is a great idea because there's a revitalization of history. This is the thing about when people start the conversation about being woke. It's like go in and understand the whole story, dig deep, and the deeper we dig, the more we find incredible people out there. And these stories, as they start, it's kind of a mosaic, a little bit of piece here and there. But tell us about what's going on here. You guys put together a community of...
the restoration has been going on for 30 years. Philip Braxton was a descendant of one of the original trustees.
Braxton would be...
Philip Braxton, sorry, Braxton. And his family also are responsible for building the one-room schoolhouse at the top of the hill that was built in 1870. So
1870?
Yes. Mr. Braxton's been working for decades to try to restore the chapel. His mother was Olive Braxton, was totally dedicated. She used to make soup and sandwiches to sell down at the paper mill at lunchtime just to keep some dollars coming in.
This looked like an industrial hub.
At one time.
At one time.
Yeah.
And now the paper mill's shut down, so that's good.
Well, it used to be a grist mill back in the 1700s.
Originally. It was
Okay, so this is arguably a first footprint.
This was the main road between here and Harper's Ferry and Charlestown and
the pike, the turnpike of sorts.
Exactly.
That was a turnpike, and it was a toll road.
And a toll road. Wow.
It was a toll house over there.
So the story on this would suggest that strong community fabric, lots of long-standing families, and just sort of this continued back in the day. Yeah, that's amazing.
Day of the railroad.
Back to the railroad, yeah, and then you kind of want to know where things are happening.
This was a working class community.
Yeah, interesting.
You know, they all worked around the mill.
That's right. And most of them were black.
Wow.
And the folks that built the chapel, a lot of them worked at the mill during the day and then did this in the evening and on weekends.
And Baptist, as far as you know?
Originally, but then it became non-denominational.
Right, kind of like the meeting house theory, where bring your faith, but you know that's amazing. Wow, well, it's a beautiful building.
Yes,
how long do you think it's going to take to get this rascal under wraps?
Well, we have a grant from the National Trust. We just were awarded.
Good.
We're one of 35 black churches across the country under their Preserving Black Churches program. So that's going to get us started in the right direction.
Have you done any GPR? Look for sites where folks might have been buried or any of that?
At this point, we don't believe there are no cemeteries.
I think everybody should have their own ground penetrating radar and do a survey before, because there's so much more, you know, to it. Well, I wish you luck. How long do you think? Maybe?
Well, it's got to be, once we get it's got to be 18 months.
18 months. I just did a sound system at the Mount Zion Church lighting system in Richmond. And there's a preacher that came there there's a story about the hogs where he's a slave at the time and he's happy and singing, and the master says, where'd you find all that happiness? And he says, down with the hogs. And so it's an amazing story, but he did a sermon, if you ever look it up online, called The Sun Do Rise. And it kind of goes to that oral tradition of the story. But eventually he ran up to national awareness of everyone, and his sermon, he was called out to preach and to give his sermon, you know, in many places across the country. So you look to those leaderships in the early black churches, and you got to wonder what it would be like to be a mouse in the room listening to that.
Oh yeah, we'd love that.
Yeah, just that whole texture, you know, the people that really did the heavy lifting, you know.
So
amazing. Well, thank you. I appreciate you letting me interrupt you.
Absolutely.
All
right, thank you. I'll see you next week.
Wow, look at that. Can we peek in the hole? No, go ahead, dear.
Just don't go inside.
Right.
You go inside, just don't go to the left.
Yes, sir. We have an old cabin inside an old antebellum home, so we know the rough floor situation. Wow, a Jefferson County historic landmark. So, wow. Oh my goodness. Boy, this just, look at this. Come on in here and take a look at the stained glass through the window. Yeah, pull back a little bit. Let that thing absorb in. That's neat. So non-denominational, have faith in God. Be thou hope in God, I guess. The cross timbers on those structures are really nice. Wow. Amazing. Well, there you go. I think they probably want to shut up or serendipity. Yeah, look forward to seeing it.